it's Ian from RTO here, and welcome to a new album review. As it's Friday, we always review the albums, try and get them the Friday after they've come out. Gives me a week of listening. This has been out a couple of weeks, so it's given me a pretty good chance to listen to it. And the first one up today, because we've got two, is the brand new album from Depeche Mode called Memento Mori. This is their 15th album, and it was released on the 24th of March. Sadly, on the 26th of May 2022, it was a Thursday, because we was in the middle of a live stream and the news broke of Andy Fletcher's unexpected death. Never revealed. It was revealed as a aortic dissection. Not very medical. Although the work on the album began prior to Fletcher's death, Dave Gahan stated in an interview that Fletcher did not record any of the material on this album, so I'm sure it was very hard for Dave Gahan and Martin Gore to record this so soon after the loss of their colleague and friend. Joining them on this to help them was James Ford, who did some additional synths and guitar and bass and drums, and Marta Sigourney was doing the programming. So let's have a look at this album. So the first track on this album is called My Cosmos Is Mine. Now I think this is quite a good track. It's melodic. You've got some really nice vocals here by both Martin and Dave. They're sort of singing together. There's some nice little touches on the keyboard. So it's a very, very good track to start the album. Next track is Wagging Tongue. I like this track. It resembles something from the very early days, New Life sort of thing. It's a very, very catchy tune. Once again, they're coming up with some really good catchy tunes. Next track, Ghosts Again. Very 80s. It's very 80s, not production, very 80s put together, but with modern production. And it's amazing what if they went and done some of them stuff off them early albums with today's technology, you'd probably get different interpretations of some of their real classic songs. I like this track. It is absolutely fantastic. Then we get Don't Say You Love Me. One of my favourite tracks on this album. It's got a real nice atmosphere to it, and the vocals are fantastic from Dave. Absolutely brilliant. Then we get My Favourite Stranger. This is again really harks back to the good old days in the 80s. It's got so much that 80s sound to it, but using the modern technology. They've gone back to basics, and it's really good. Soul With Me. Now this is the one that I'm not keen on. It's a little bit, how can I say it? It's okay, but it didn't go, oh, I like that. Next track is called Caroline's Monkey. It's a bit dull in places. It's not one of the tracks that stands out and goes, play me, play me. The next track is called Before We Drown. My favourite track on here. It's very, very quirky. I think Dave Gahan's vocals are still as strong as ever. He's always had that deep tone to it anyway, and I think as you get older, it's if you've got a deep voice anyway, you don't notice the change in your voice as you get older. So it's a very, very good track. I really like that one. People Are Good. It's a great track. Why change a winning formula? It's really is catchy, quirky. The keyboard work in it is pretty good. Always You. It's all right. It's not what I'm not very keen on that one. Then we get Never Let Me Go. I don't like how the drum programming is a little off for me on this one. It doesn't really fit the rest of the track. Then we get Speak to Me. Now this is fabulous. Lots of keyboard sounds and textures, and it just builds up to this crescendo at the end of the track. And what a way to end the album. Okay, an album which must have been very hard for David Martin to make soon after Andy's death. But they cope with it. I think this is maybe the way they cope with it, coming to terms with it. They've gone back to basics on this album. Instead of all the real intricate stuff on the last couple of albums and that industrial sound, they've gone back to where they started. It is a very 80s Depeche Mode album, but using, as I said, using that modern technology. I will be doing a tier ranking on Depeche Mode at some stage, because obviously we've done their album ranking and this has come out. It'd be interesting where this is going to turn up on that. But as far as now, I think this is a pretty good album. I was shocked, to be quite honest. I thought I was going to get the more modern, like they've been doing, but this one's gone back in time. But it's a really quirky album, and I'm very impressed with it. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7.4. Okay, one more to do, and we're going to look at the new Saxon album. They brought out another cover album called More Inspirations, so we're going to have a look at that very soon. In fact, in probably about 30 seconds. So bye for now.